Hello my friends, El Furtado, the Rebel Turner, and I'm back with another turning of one of the pieces that were a gift from Danella out in California. With the gift she sent me, I guess two, maybe three species of wood. One of them was Mezzanita burl. Second one, I identified it as Mezzanita, but on Facebook, the group that cuts all these burls out there and does live auctions. I'll put a link below on how you can get in touch with them if you're interested in some of these woods. Fascinating woods, amazing woods. Anyway, they corrected on exactly what type of wood was sent to me that was labeled as Mezzanita, and they corrected that and saying that was redwood burl. So the first turning I did out of this series was a redwood burl. She sent me a huge square block of this redwood. And she told me that it came out of a tree that was between 2,000 and 4,000 year old. I know that's a big span, that's double the life. But either way, even if I go with a lower number, 2,000 year old tree, can you imagine that? Well, I guess it hasn't seen its end of its life form, because I have a huge piece of this. And I believe it to be 12 inches square by 4 inches thick. It's going on the lathe. Let's get started. Now it's also important that I get these all at the same distance away from my tool rest, and to go in here and true it all up anyway. But these outside corners I cannot modify them, so it is pretty important that I got roughly the same distance. Speed, this is huge. Now that's 450 RPM on this. I'm going to use my 5/8 bowl gouge in there to give it a push cut and clean that up some. I still might make this the top. I will see. As you can see, this is further in. This one and that one are further in than these. So this will end up being, I'll sand it on my disc sander, taking it off until I have the same profile I do here. But I don't want this round over. I want to go one more cut in here until I actually have like a 1/4 inch reveal on this. The thickness is pretty good all the way through. So I got a little bit of an adjustment to make on this cut. Not much at all. So that looks that looks pretty good. A lot of tear out on this though. I like that. I like the coloring that's going through here. But I'm right on the edge, and I think that's where I'm going to leave it at. I'm going to sand this down right to that edge on all four sides. This side has quite a bit, so I'm actually going to take it down on the, maybe on the bandsaw. Some. And then finalize it on the Now I got everything equal. Okay, this being the base, that gives me a nice overhang bowl of some sort. And I'd love to see this as the top, and have these wings kind of just flapped down as you see, and have this down here. And have this down here as the base. Now this cavity that's going through here is rather large, and it's, you know, I don't want a hole in the middle of a bowl. I mean, there's absolutely nothing on that would be an enhancement to the piece. The piece has enough of its own character on these colors that are going through here, these purples, these bluish hues, whatever you want to call it, this line going all the way through, which whenever you see something like that, you got to be careful. Even if it's not opened, check mark, it's a fungus that grew in there at some time, so it could very well blow up on you. Always look at the characteristics of the piece that you're turning, and look for any areas that just don't seem right. Coloring, lines, stuff of that sort, and take care of them, because for sure it could be problematic for you. Now, this would be a perfect opportunity for me to use CA and some of those red shavings that I saved from the last turning. And I'm not sure, I might do that. Now, that would also look good in epoxy with those red shavings. But this would also look good in epoxy with some colored epoxy rather than clear, because you don't want to be looking through the bottom of the piece. It will be enhanced enough with whatever you do. So I'm going to pull it out of the lathe so I can work this upright and address that and see which way I want to go with it. So it's quite a hole right now, and it will take a little bit of epoxy to fill that in. But I don't think I want to use those wood shavings. I think what I want to do is use some 5-minute epoxy and use some color, either the diamond dust that I've used a few times, or I think the diamond dust might be a little bit more appropriate. But I'm talking, and yet I might not do that at all. I might go as initially I thought and just go with sawdust. So stirring it up right now, and I think I'm going to use some turquoise, and I'm going to use the Caribbean blue. Now the foot on this is going to come out anyway, so I'm not too worried about that, but I do have to make a tenon that goes all the way around, and right now I don't have it. It's already hardening up. As you can see, it's already not shifting on me. This 5-minute epoxy is really a nice product to use if you are in a rush to get things going. This black line going through here, I'm going to add some CA to that. I guarantee that will be a check that by the time I get it thin enough on the inside walls, that could possibly blow up. So by adding CA to it, it will assure me that it will stay in for me. But anyway, this has had a little time. It's dry. I should be able to go in there and cut it up and reestablish that tenon all the way through. All I need is about 1/8 of an inch added to that tenon over there, and that will give me enough to grip. It's not too bad. I'm going to sand it down with 80 grit and cut some of these tear outs. And I do, when I have a little bit more excessive tear out, and you should do the same, cut it way down where your lathe stopped. With it running, you're going to be taking a long time to get down to the bottom where you need it to be. Once you get it smooth, more or less smooth, then you can turn on the lathe to even it out all the way through. But very likely, with it stopped, you can get rid of all of it. With it going, you're going to be here a long time. And you can see, I just touched that up. I'm going to save a little bit of this for future as well. And this will give me a little bit more than what the other pieces have given me. is gumming up my sandpaper a little bit quicker than it normally does. The wood is fairly wet and you can see the moisture coming through. Can you see that? That is actually moisture coming out of the wood and popping out the backside. The longer I turn this, of course, the drier this becomes. But that is moisture. For those of you wondering, it's a felt wheel. I'm not sure if it came with this bolt or if that was something I added in for the sake of putting it on the drill. But either way, I put it up and I cut this little tenon with the skew. I went in there, parted it out, and then went in there this way and parted it out until they met up, and it gives me a tenon to just mount it up on the chuck, whether if it has the screw or no screw. The only difference is, like I said, the screw allows me to put it in between centers, allows me to put it on my drill, that is. And I use it as a buffer every once in a while as well. So it's a multi-purpose tool right now. So I will find it again by checking how close I am, and I'll be damned, I ended up right there too. It's good. Great job. Made my face blurry now. Much better. Well, anyway, it's done. Not a moment too soon. I did it in little bits at a time today. I came out here in the morning, but was here for an hour or so, maybe less. Then I got a visit, somebody who was interested in buying some of my tools, because I just posted on Facebook, well, I put my house up for sale last week. Posted my shop, my boat, a lot of stuff on Craigslist because I'm trying to liquidate everything I own, because my thought process for both my wife and I are to retire. Well, I have another 4 months, but she's got almost a year for us to get our early retirement, even though it's peanuts for the amount of time we've worked. But anyway, it's better than waiting till you're 70 and dead. So I figured that with my retirement, this little bit of a hobby, you guys on YouTube, I'm going to be moving aboard a catamaran. Yes, I'm looking at a catamaran that's actually down here near me, which is a little bit more of a catamaran in size than what I wanted, but it's an older boat, and I think it will serve both my wife and I well. It has enough room that I can convert one of the rooms into maybe my workshop. So I will continue with woodturning around the globe. But enough of that. For now, the reason why, like I said, this was going back and forth is because I've been checking on emails, people are calling me, people are checking on the status. And I put this piece of Sequoia, the ancient redwoods, out in California. And this was one of the pieces that Daniela sent me. Anyway, it's a beautiful, beautiful wood grain. It was a little tough on the cuts. A lot of tear outs on this type of wood. I know that it's green, but that's no excuse. You still get a lot of tear out with this. It was a little challenging. What I initially had picture was these wings to come all the way down to the bottom, and this bowl would actually sit on these wings. But it would have been if I flipped it this way, because I knew I had some decay and some areas that I had to contend with. But once I started seeing this wood grain on what was going through here, these little specks and the swirls and many things, prompted me to just make the wings going halfway as I did and undermine it from underneath, even though I still captured a little bit of this void over here. Now, this void did not do me any good. It would have been fine if it wasn't there, but it's there, and I don't worry about it. The bottom, it forced me to do something because there was a lot of decay right in the middle. And like I said, originally when I was going to do it the other way, that was going to be dug up anyway. This would have not been here had I done it the other way either. But I thought that it was more important for me to capture some of this beautiful grain than it was for me to capture a perfect bowl without those imperfections. And you know me, imperfections are not something negative. They are something that generally I look forward to. So I don't mind that. You know, so it's, you know, the sacrifices we make to make the best possible decision, or what we think is the best decision at the time. But once it's done, and it's done. Well, hope you like it. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Share it with your friends. And if you are watching my videos, hit that little bell. That bell will give you a notification. I'll send you a notification when I post new videos. I appreciate your time. I know that sometimes my videos are lengthy, but then again, you know how I am, and this is my character and my channel, so I offer a little bit more insight and personal of who I am, rather than just turn and here you go, thanks for watching. You know, you either like me or you don't like me. That's how I am. Thanks for watching again. Take care. We'll see you hopefully soon.